Okay, so here are our 3D figures and nets. So there's a few marks on there because I thought I had previously recorded it, but I guess I did not. So yeah, so second time is a charm, I'm hoping. Here we go. So let's take a look at this. This is all about nets, and a net is just an opened up 3D figure, which it says right here. To imagine what the net would look like for a given figure, pay attention to the size and shape of all 4 to 6 sides. Also, I would say, think about if you were opening a box, a cardboard box, and flattening it out completely, maybe to take to recycling, say, what would each one of the sides look like as you pulled it apart? So let's start with a box that would just be exactly that. So here is our box, and we have 3 sides that we can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a little bit of a line just to remind myself about what the sides look like that I can't see. And then I'm going to take a look at this. I have a bottom. I have a side here, a side here, a side in the back, and a side there. And then I have a top as well. So I know I need 1 square. I need 4 squares also for the sides. And then I need a top. So that's going to be 5 squares all together. So I'm going to look over here, and I can see that this one has all 5 squares. So I've got the bottom here. I've got a side, a side, a side, another side, and I have the top. So clearly, letter C, goes with number 1. So this is net C. Okay. So up here it says to make sure we should pay attention to the size and shape of all 4 sides. It's a good thing to pay attention to, because if you look at number 2, we've got a different shape on the side here. So we've got rectangles, rectangles. This is a 6-sided figure. So I can't remember what they're called anyway. So it's a 6-sided figure, hexagon, and we need to find that in our net choices over here. So over here, of course, I see that shape A has that 6-sided figure on each side, and that's clearly the net that goes with shape number 2. All right. Shape number 3. I'm just going to write some notes here. Shape number 3 is a triangular pyramid, and there are no rectangular pieces at all. So you can see a triangle here. You're going to have 1 in the front, 1 in the back, and 1 on the side. So this net is going to be made up of just triangles, and you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles all together. So if you look over here, we have the triangle on the bottom, and then we have 1 on each of the sides. So that's going to be net letter B. Okay. Number 4 is a triangle, but it's also got a rectangular piece here as well. So this kind of looks like a tent, and we need to find something that has a triangle on both ends, but then also has some rectangles. So if you were to draw this, you would see that we've got something like this. So here's a rectangle, and there's 1 on the bottom, and then we've got 2 triangles on either end. So here we have our 2 triangles on either end. We have the bottom where your sleeping bag might go. Here's your little pillow. And then we have the sides, okay? Which anybody knows, if you've been sleeping in a tent when it's raining, you don't touch the sides, otherwise you get wet. Okay. So let's take a look at this. So I think it's going to be really important that you refer back to this page when you're working on your homework piece, because this page right here has a lot of examples of what your nets will look like. So let's take a look at what that's going to be. Okay. So we have 2 boxes that you can undo. We've got 2 triangles, but they're different triangles. So if we look at this one is really a square bottom. And this one, yeah, I guess it's time for class to end. Not. This one is a triangular bottom. Here is your tent, which is going to look like this. And here's another box. All right. So I'm going to do 2 of these for you. Kind of look at 2 of these, and then you guys are going to do the others. I will post the answers to these on the next assignments video. So here we go. Let's take this one here. This one has a box, I shouldn't say a box, a square for the base. So I'm going to just draw a square. And then it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. So we got a triangle off of each of the ends. And that's how that one should look. It does not have to be perfect. You can tell my handwriting is, my net making is not all that great. Okay. Let's do, we've got an example of that one. You've got an example of that one. Let's take a look at this one. And I just want you to notice that the bottom of this one and the top of this one are a little bit different. Here we have, this is going to be a square, and on the bottom is going to be a square, but then we've got 4 rectangles around the ends. So when you draw it, make sure that you reflect that. So you're going to have, let's see, where should I put this? We're going to do, okay, so we're going to have our box here. And then on one side, we'll have this, all right? And we'll have another one here. And we'll have another rectangle here. And then we'll finally have a 4th rectangle here, but the top of our box is going to be a square. So we need to be able to show this is the bottom, this is the top, and these are the sides. Okay, that is it for this set of worksheets.